showing out, making moves, no doubt. FFA pride, it's what we're all about. From classroom dreams to real world flair, we got the stories you won't find anywhere. Beyond the jacket where the stories unfold, voices of the future, fearless and bold. Tune in now, let the passion ignite. It's more than a jacket, it's a way of life. Beyond the jacket where passion meets purpose.
Hey guys, welcome back to Beyond the Jacket podcast. We are so excited you are here spending your Friday with us and getting to hear more about the Blue Jacket journey and beyond it. We have such a fantastic guest today. I'm excited to lean into her FFA experiences and where she is now. Everyone say hi to Addisyn. Addisyn, why don't you introduce yourself to our listeners?
Yeah, my name is Addisyn Schiller. I'm from the Crookston FFA chapter up in way northwest Minnesota. There's still about 1.5 feet of snow on the ground for us, and I'm a junior in high school, just about to head down to state convention in about a week and a half.
That's exciting. I'm sure the pressure is on with state convention down the road.
Yeah.
I remember those days. Oh my gosh. This past week was our state officer screening for the state of Florida, and I was just, oh my gosh, deja vu for those kids. And I knew what they were feeling and what they had gone through. And I was like, okay, I'm really glad I'm in college and I don't have the stress of that. But in the same way, I'm a little jealous that you don't have finals next week. So kind of one of those things. Well, Addisyn, where did FFA start for you? Was your love from agriculture found through like family, or was it found in the Blue Jacket? What's your background?
Yeah, so I mean, we can start before even FFA times. My dad and mom started farming from quite literally the ground up in 2014. They built it up to about 1,500 acres. That was in 2014. We got up to 1,500 by about 2019. But in 2018, in January, we tragically suddenly lost my mom to a heart attack in her sleep. So there went my dad's right-hand man. There went the person, no, you're okay. There went the person that I grew up with. I was 9, my sister was 5, and my brother was 18 months old at the time. So.
Oh my gosh, your poor dad.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah. So on top of him farming, he was actually a full-time firefighter about 45 minutes from here in Grand Forks, North Dakota. So what his schedule was he would work a 24-hour shift. He'd have 24 off, come home, work on the farm, do that 3 times, and then he had 4 consecutive days off. And so on those days off, he was really getting to farming, and he loved it, and I loved helping him. And then in 7th grade, we went to 7th grade orientation night, and he walked past the ag room with me, and he goes, "You're doing that?" And I go, no. I saw one look at the jacket. I go, "That doesn't look comfortable." I'm like, "Absolutely not." And I walk in the first.
Very comfortable.
No, it makes the hot hotter and the cold colder. It's fine, especially when it's 30 below outside. That's always a great
experience. That kind of cold, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. So then I walk into the ag room the first day, and the ag teacher is like, "Hey, let's go. You're like whatever." And about 3 weeks into school, she goes, "Hey, forestry is next week. You're doing that." I go, "No." She goes, "On the bus, 7 a.m. We're leaving." I was like, "Okay, guess I'm going."
I'll be there, I guess.
Yeah. So that was my first time in the jacket. And I remember coming home that day, and I looked at my dad. I go, "Never again." I tried it, took the jacket off. I'm like, "I'm done." Because we had like chapter jackets that people could borrow. So that's what I wore. And then about a month later, my ag teacher goes again, and she goes, "I'm signing you up for creed speaking. You have a week to memorize all 5 paragraphs of the FFA creed and recite it to judges." I go, "Excuse?" I was like, "Hello?"
A week is insane.
Yeah.
Oh
I got it all memorized, and then I placed 4th at our region qualifier. So you compete at regions to go to state in Minnesota, and there's 8 regions. And I got 4th, but since there were 2 people in the top 3 from the same chapter, I got bumped up to 3rd, and then I ended up going to state my 7th grade year. So that's where it very quickly I found my love. And then I looked at my dad after that contest, after I called him, and was like, "Yeah, I'm state qualified." And he goes, "Yeah, what happened to not doing FFA? And now, like, I was just working on my chapter office application today for next year, and it was like, list all your FFA activities. And I got to like 2025, and it's taking up like a page and a half on Google Docs. I'm like, yeah, 7th grade Addie saying no really worked out in my favor.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I remember one of my last officer applications and doing the resume for state office and all the things that come with that. And I remember taking up an entire Word doc, you know, and then when you go to do the resume and they're like, 1 page. Okay. What's gonna fit on 1 page? And I remember getting down to like 9.5 font. And my advisor go, you have to take some of this off of here so people can read half of the things you did. And I was like, okay, I guess, you know, because at that point you're just, I did everything. I didn't know I did everything until I sat down and actually went through it. But all good things. So you did the Creed, you did forestry. Did you continue to do forestry in high school, or was your CDEs and LDEs different? What'd you find your passion in?
Yeah, so I obviously found my passion in Creed. I did it 7th through 9th grade, ended up placing 3rd in state my 9th grade year. Had a great run with that. I loved it. My CDEs, very quickly, I said no to forestry, and 8th grade year I tried nursery landscape. And from 8th grade till sophomore year, I did nursery landscape, fell in love with it, and full circle moment, I'm actually back on the forestry team. I placed 7th at regions this year individually. Our team placed 1st for the 3rd year in a row.
Congratulations. That's a huge win.
Yeah, so timber cruising in a week and a half at state convention is going to be great. I think with still a foot of snow on the ground, that's going to be wonderful. Yeah, so, and then my LDEs after Creed speaking, actually, my freshman year, all the LDEs other than parliamentary procedure and Creed speaking were held on the same day. Parley and Creed were later in the year, but all the rest of the LDEs were in November. And about a week and a half before the LDEs, I got a terrible concussion. And my first day back at school, it was 2 days before region LDEs. I look at my advisor, I go, can you take me out of school? I obviously have missed so much of it already. Just take me for another day. Obviously, FFA is going to use a lot less brain power than a classroom is. And she goes, yeah, what contest? I go, we'll do employment skills. That looks easy. And so then I kind of found my niche in employment skills, and then conduct and Parley. I'm a Parley nerd. Our team got 2nd at state this year, so...
Parley is huge in Florida FFA, and I'm so glad that that is your niche, however people say that word. It's not mine. I'm not good at it. It is not my strong suit, but it's a great skill to have moving forward, especially into college and career after high school. A part of that three circle model that agriculture education likes to use is SAEs, Supervised Agriculture Experience. What's yours, Addisyn?
Mine is an agriculture education placement, and it's called Ag in the Classroom, and I make monthly agriculture-based lessons for 4th and 5th grade students over at our elementary school. Last year, my advisor I was more of her TA, and then funny enough, in my high school years, just from 7th to 11th grade, I've had 3 different ag teachers. I had one my 7th grade year. Oh, wow. Yeah, one my 8th, 9th, and 10th grade year, and then we just got a new one this year, my 11th grade year. And so with the one that I had for a big chunk of my time, I was a TA more in her classroom, helping get study materials together, I really helped out in the 8th grade, intro to ag classes, helped out with labs, helped out with like classwork, stuff with that, printing class materials. That's what my kind of job was then. And then when this new advisor came in, she's like, I want it to be more of a hands-on thing for you. We're going to take a step back from you TAing. We're going to have something just for you. And so we came up with this idea, and I just flew by the seat of my pants for the first couple months. I was like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So I started with an intro to FFA, like what I do at the high school, because obviously my main goal is so these kids come to the high school and they're more well-rounded on ag and FFA and stuff, because we rechartered. We had a chapter and that kind of fizzled out in the 1970s, and then we rechartered in 2020. So we're still relatively new in the community for people to be like, what are you doing? And especially when kids get up to the high school now, they're like, FFA, what is that? And they'll see some of us and they're like, what are you doing? And so that was kind of, what are you wearing was kind of the big thing. They're like, ugh, what is that? And so kind of the big thing for me was to have them more well-rounded on what FFA was, what agriculture, like the different sectors of agriculture was going into the high school. Yes, they do have to wait through their 6th and 7th grade years before they can join because we're an 8-12 chapter, but just to be able to well-round them more. And so we started with FFA, intro to what it is, what I do, different things I've done, and then we've kind of gone on from there. November was food products and processing systems. December was food science. January was environmental sciences. February was like plant sciences. And then March was ag business. So I kind of, especially with ag business, I use like, I go, yes, this is ag business. And I kind of drew out an umbrella. And I was like, but there's this sector, which can also go into like these many jobs. And then there's this sector, which can go into like multiple more careers. And it's been really cool for me. And I've built a really strong connection because I only go to 3 classes, but I've built such a strong connection with those kids. And I applied for a proficiency this year because I finally like had built up enough hours. And like people are like, oh, you just go in the classroom. I go, no, this
Not
is
at all.
hundreds of hours where I come up with the lessons. I make the slideshows. I make the worksheets. Like I think this week I spent 10 hours alone just making worksheets for next week because I want these activities to be fun.
Full-time job.
Yes. And I was like,
still full-time job.
Yes. And I was like, I'm doing this on top of being a PSEO student and a high school student and an athlete. And like, people are like, oh, it's so easy. I'm like, no, like I'm like supporting almost 75 other kids in an elementary class, but I've been loving it. And so when I finally had built up enough hours to apply for a proficiency this year, I was like, oh, it won't go far. Found out that I was the only one in my category in my region. So I automatically kind of technically won, but you know, you still have to go through the interview, whatever. And then we're sitting in ag business one day, which is the ag class I have this semester. And my ag teacher, Miss Krona, goes, come here. I go, what did I do wrong now? I was like, what did I do? And she's on a spreadsheet. And since ag ed placement is the first one, she shows me the title that says 2026 Minnesota FFA state finalist for proficiencies and points to my name in the ag ed placement. I go, what?
That's me? Oh my gosh.
So yeah, I'm a top 3 finalist in state, and I'll find out that in about a couple weeks. But I remember I had a classroom visit like the day after, and I remember going into that class and I was like, guys, you'll never guess what I found out.
We did it.
It was like, we did it. And they're like, but it's your application. I go, no, because if it literally wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't even be in the position that I'm in right now. And then came along the Ag Ed CDE that National FFA approved. And in Minnesota, like National FFA approved it, but it doesn't become one until the year after I graduate. But Minnesota is hosting it as like a Best Informed Green Hand Invitational, whatever. So we had like a region 1 where like region 1 and region 2 both came. But it was just so people could experience it. And I ended up placing second. It wasn't like a state qualifier, but so then we sent my lesson plans off to the state, and they were only allowing 12 teams to compete, but only 8 of them sent stuff in. So I'm also getting to do that at state. I'm really busy at state convention this year.
I can see that, girl. That's insane.
But like I was making, because like another part of what I've been doing is like getting state convention stuff ready and like helping Miss Krona with stuff. And I was making state qualified locker signs for everyone, because, you know, that's just kind of a cool personal thing. And I got to mine, and it was like Addisyn Schiller, forestry. And we did like our winter leadership summit back in December. So I put those state qualifiers on too, just to like make them feel whatever. So I was like forestry, parliamentary procedure, state degree, proficiency, ag ed. I was like, what more could a girl fit on this? And I was like having to decrease the font so much. I was like, they're not even going to be able to read it. But it's just
my senior year, I have no idea why I decided to do this. I thought it was a good idea when I set this goal. But Florida FFA's, that's where I'm from. Florida FFA's convention is during June. So it's probably one of the more later conventions across the nation. And my goal was to be on stage at every session.
Oh, no.
So, not like I could be on multiple times a session. That was cool. But I wanted my name said at every single session. Granted, part of that was also like a under the rug campaign thing that I came up with. I was running for state office. Like, the more you heard my name, the better I thought it was going to be. Did not end up being that way, but that's okay, you know? So that experience, I ended up doing it, holy cow, but I can absolutely relate to you in the fact that state convention will probably be the busiest week of your year. It'll be awesome and celebrate all the wins and all the achievements, but then the next week, take a nap or 3.
Yeah, for sure, especially because our state convention is Sunday through Tuesday. It's the 19th through 21st. I'm on prom committee, and our prom is the 25th.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. So we actually get out of school that Friday, the 24th, as a prom committee to decorate everything and get everything set up. So I'm like, okay, I'll be gone the 20th and the 21st and the 24th, and then prom's the 25th. And then I also manage our softball team. Granted, yes, did softball start a month ago? Yes. Have we not even gotten a single game in because of, Minnesota? Yes. So by the time May rolls around, we are most likely having games Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and tournaments on Saturday. So I'm like never in school anymore. I'm like, yeah, school's just optional at this point. I'll see you when I see you.
When Florida FFA passed the bill that any absence related to agriculture, 4-H, or FFA was an automatic excused absence, I was like, thank the good Lord above. Because I remember looking at my transcripts when I submitted them for college. My junior year of high school, I missed like 120 days. A school year is 180 days, listeners. That's a lot of days. And 99% of those days that I missed were due to my SAE, ag class, competition, sports, all the things underneath the sun. And I remember my mom being like, you have to get an education too, Paige. Like, this is why you're in school. I understand FFA is so important to you, and it fires you up and it ignites this passion inside of you, but I also need you to learn something.
Yeah.
So my senior year took kind of a step back in that. But with everything that you're doing and everything that you're balancing, Addisyn, what has been a challenge that you have overcome that's really resonated with you?
I think just a challenge that I've overcome is like just learning to give myself grace. I was a region officer this year. I was a chapter officer this year. I retired from region office last week. Like, obviously there were a lot of emotions with that. And one of my best friends, she was a state officer last year, Natalie, her retiring address was all about giving yourself grace, because she had talked about how she went on to World Dairy Expo, won this huge award, and she didn't even believe it. And she was like, no, I didn't do that. But like, just learning to give myself grace is what she really had talked about. And then I was like, not only was that one of my best friends who gave that RA, I've really started to take that to heart, especially the last couple of months through National FFA Week, state convention, retiring as a regional officer, through all of that, and like learning to take a step back. And that's like been my biggest challenge, especially this year, is to just like give yourself grace, but also acknowledge your accomplishments. Because again, today when I was working on my chapter officer application on like all the FFA activities that I've done, I've been like, oh yeah, I guess I never fully accepted that I did this much in 2025. And and so just learning to take that step back and give myself grace has definitely been one of the biggest challenges.
No, absolutely. I can 110% agree with that you have so much going on that you kind of lose sight of why we're doing it. You're just kind of like a racehorse with your blinders on, go, 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 go. But then when you sit down and take yourself out of the picture, you're like, oh my gosh, I did that, and just really celebrating those wins, humbly, of course, but just being proud of the dedication that you put in to be able to receive that award. And I don't think it was until I retired my jacket officially that I recognized that. So it's definitely important to recognize it sooner rather than later, because you'll get like me and it'll be too late. So that's some inspiring advice. Do you have a piece of advice for younger members that you'd want to share, Addisyn?
I know a lot of people say this, but take it in. I can't believe I'm already at my junior year state convention. Like, we have about a month and a half left of school, and everyone's like, well, course registration just came out, and I grabbed the paper and it's had a 12 on it. I'm like, I'm a senior. What? But like, especially with FFA, I'm like, take it all in. Like, I remember being asked at my 7th grade state convention, because I'm a tall girl, I'm like 5'10". I remember being asked at my 7th grade state convention, they're like, are you here for the senior recognition banquet? And I was like, no, I'm a 7th grader. But now I'm like, oh my gosh, how am I already this far in? But just like take every moment in, but also take every opportunity that you can. I know, like, I applied, my ag teacher really nudged me in 2024. She's like, hey, you should apply for this conference. It's in the cities. It's like a national level conference. Just apply. I was like, I think no. And she's like, no, apply. And so it was a next gen food products and processing systems, and met some amazing people. Yeah. And the day I retired from region office, last Wednesday, we were in the middle of lunch and my watch buzzed, and it was an email. And at the beginning of March, I had applied for the egg business one down in Chicago. And it was like, the header was like, next gen egg business, blah, blah, blah. And all I saw was congrats. And I was like, what? So just like taking it all in, taking every opportunity. Because if I didn't apply for that one in 2024, I wouldn't have applied for the one in Chicago this year. But I'm super excited.
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. Yes, it is so important to soak all of that in like a sponge and just appreciate every moment given and the ones lost, because you learn in both of those situations. Addisyn, it was a joy to learn about your SAE and get to meet you and become friends with you. I wish you the best of luck in all of your FFA endeavors. You seem like the next week is going to be crazy busy. Remember to breathe. That might be my piece of advice for you. Listeners, thank you for joining us again on Beyond the Jacket. We love that you are listening. Be sure to like and subscribe, and catch us next week for another episode.